Hello all, my name is Krishnak and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, today in this video, we will be discussing about the complete roadmap to be taken to become an expert in Python. Now why this video guys? Because I really want to specify Python is a very important programming language now, because of the type of development, since it is an open source, and really with the help of Python, you can develop a web application, you can develop a desktop application, you can move towards machine learning, deep learning, because there are some amazing and cool libraries. You can actually do some, create some web frameworks with the help of Flask and Django, right? You can also create desktop applications with the help of Python. You can create web APIs, you can do whole lot of things. So Python has really been very famous in the recent times, and there are some good amount of jobs also with respect to Python programming language. Now before going ahead with respect to this video guys, I really want to take you with respect to this particular slides. That is few points to remember. Always remember, whenever you are learning something, right, focus on your end goal, right? Why I'm saying this, because understand, I want to become a data scientist. Suppose my aim is actually to become a data scientist. So my learning way, my learning pattern of Python will be completely different, right? Suppose if I really want to I want to focus just on web application development, then the way that I should be learning Python will be different. So in this particular way, the variations will be there. Suppose if I want to become a data analyst, the way that I will be learning Python will be completely different, right? So in this ways, you should actually focus based on the goals, right? Because Python is huge, you need not learn everything. It depends on your goal, what you have to learn. Coming to the second point, always keep some time frame in your mind, right? Just a logical time frame, like suppose in 3 months, I really want to become a data scientist. Now I have to think how I have to go ahead in in learning Python, right? That will be pretty much helpful to decide your learning patterns also guys, right? Please make sure, please do remember the second point. Learn every day. This is the third thing guys, you have to learn. At least provide 1 hour effort every day, right? The pattern that you are following, just write it down, jot it down in a piece of paper, right? And try to provide some time every day, at least 1 to 2 hours, right? And again guys, the last and the final point, Google is your friend. Any queries, go to him, right? You may be asking me many queries, I may be busy, I may not be able to answer you, but yes, always Google is available for you whenever you are stuck in anything, right? Once you have the blueprint in your mind, you just have to start learning each and everything. If you are stuck in some place, if you are not even able to get help from anyone, go to Google, right? Trust me, Google has all the solutions guys, right? It has really all the solutions with respect to the things that we do in this IT industry. Every question, every type of queries will be definitely available over there, right? And do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know. I'll still say that I hate remembering anything. Okay. I'll just directly go Google it whenever I'm stuck in anything. Suppose I want to do some data analysis. I know pandas. I know NumPy. But yes, again, if I want to do some kind of analysis, I'll definitely go to Google instead of just putting my mind over there, right? It's okay. No need to be shame of that, right? Okay, coming to the next point. Part 1, I've divided this into some parts, and I'll just tell you how should you actually start. I've also given some basic number of days over here and how you should basically start itself. So part 1 is all about basic Python syntax. Start with Jupyter Notebook, right? If you go and check my complete machine learning playlist, there I have already started with Python. First of all, I've shown how you do the installation of Anaconda. There, how do you use Jupyter Notebook? How do you use SpiderID? But initially, always for learning purpose, start with Jupyter Notebook. Try to learn the basic syntax. In this basic syntax, I have written things like basic arithmetic operation, like 1 plus 1, 1 into 2, doing some kind of operation, mathematical operations, right? In that particular way. Understand about variables. Understand about control and conditional structures like if, while, if else clause, like that, right? Just try to understand that how do we write, because the way that we write, right, we'll be able to understand one very important thing that is called as indentation. And in Python, indentation is pretty much important. When you're in the advanced stage when you're learning about OOPS concepts and all, this indentation is very, very important, because once you're stuck at somewhere due to some issues with respect to indentation, there will be a compilation error, right? When you're trying to execute it, you'll get a runtime error itself. Okay. Then coming to the control and conditional structure, then you start with loopings like for loop, while loops and all. And again, guys, it need not be very, very complex, right? Just understand the basic structure, how it works, right? And suppose if you have a use case, like in the future, you will be working with pandas, right? Pandas basically means data frames. And suppose you want to loop inside data frames and you don't know, Google it. But if you know this for looping basic structure, if you Google it, you'll be able to understand it, right? Trust me, in my previous company, I had a manager who was around 16 to 17 years of experience, right? And just within 3 to 4 months, he was not a pro in coding, right? He completely used the help of Google in order to do the coding, right? Stack Overflow was there. He just used to write the questions properly in the Google. He used to get the whole answer itself. And he has learned very nicely. I've seen that, I've seen his interest. So just imagine like what all we can do if we have this whole path set with us, right? Okay, coming to the next thing is user input, strings, integer, floating values and typecasting. These are some simple operations, and probably you should not take many days in this. 1 to 2 days is hardly enough. I'm not saying one day 24 hours, second day 24 hours. No, every day 1 hour. It's more than sufficient to understand all these things. And yes, again, I have a playlist for that. At the last, I'll be going through the playlist itself. Okay. Now, fine. This was the part 1. You have done 2 days. Done. You have completed it. Again, you can practice some more things and be literally dependent on Google, guys. If you want to see some use cases with respect to this, just try to Google over there and search it over there. String operations, integers operation, float types operation, typecasting operations in Python, right? Like that. Just put the statement in Python. That's it. Now coming to the part 2, focus on inbuilt data structures. Now this is very, very, very important. Trust me, this inbuilt data structures can play a very, very important role when you are actually in the advanced stage, where you are in the data analysis stage and all. Okay. So here I have actually mentioned Python strings and inbuilt function, Python list and Boolean inbuilt functions, Python sets inbuilt function, Python dictionaries inbuilt function, Python tuples. This 5 thing, strings, list, Boolean variables, sets, dictionaries, tuples, right? Just try to understand how it actually works. Just try to see some of the functions over there. Tomorrow, suppose if you really want to find out like how to find out the unique elements in list, probably you'll be using the for loop, right? So see guys, that basic thing will be combining with these things, right? If you know that strong, right, you'll be also able to think over here. But again, make that work also easy. Just directly go and Google it. Suppose if you go and type how to find unique elements in the list, all the solutions will be there, right? Dictionaries, how to get all the keys inside a dictionary, right? If you understand the basic functionalities of this, guys, Google will always be there to help you out. Okay. But logic building is important. Logic building at each and every stage is important. What you have to do in order to solve that use case, that you have to think, that whole logic you have to do it. And probably this is definitely for experienced people. They already have the logic. They know what they have to do. For freshers, they keep on practicing on all these things. And I've seen many people, guys. I've seen many freshers who are much more better than me. They don't Google also. They directly write the code. Okay. And trust me, with respect to me, if I'm stuck in some of the places and probably I've not done that part from many days, I'll directly go and Google, pick up the syntax and paste it over there. Okay. So this is the best thing about Google itself. Then the next point is about functions in Python. This is important, guys. This because we are moving towards the advanced stage of Python, right? Where we will be using Python for data analysis, for creating web development projects, for creating APIs and all, right? So functions in Python is pretty much important. Okay, functions, it may be user-defined functions. I'm not talking about inbuilt functions. I'm talking about user-defined functions, right? User-defined functions, and that is basically used to reuse the code, right? Reuse the code, and you can also override most of the functionalities that is present in the inbuilt function. Suppose if there is any inbuilt functions also, you can override those by using your own custom functions also. This particular operation, which is called as iterator and generators, is also very, very important. Then you have exception handlings and how to import the libraries. Exception handling is pretty much important. I missed one more point, guys. Probably I should not add it over here. I'll be telling you in the part 3 over here itself. But exception handling is important because that will actually show you how to handle the exceptions in your code, right? I'll be showing you one example, guys. I'll show you. Recently I had done a project for the members in my channel, and there I had done with the help of object oriented concepts, right? There I'll be showing you how many folders I have made, how I have actually imported the data from files from the other folder itself, and all those things I'll try to show you. So exception handling is important, guys, because you may get any kind of issues that needs to be handled, and it needs to be logged also. So logging functionalities also I'll be showing you in my next part. Okay, and always remember, guys, logging, you can start with Python logging system itself, right? They have a library called as logger, and probably if you I have not created a video on that, in future I'll create a video for you all in the same topic. Now coming to the part 3, and remember, guys, for this I've taken 3 days. I think 3 days is more than sufficient. In one day you can complete strings, lists, sets, dictionary, tuples. Now you will be thinking, why is just saying Krish day 3 days, Krish? Because there are so many things inside it. I'm telling you, get the basic overview. Get the basic overview. Any complex things that comes, go and Google it, right? Just don't waste much time that you're practicing this, you're practicing that, you're practicing this. You do that thing when you're solving the real world use case, right? Now in the real world use case, probably suppose if I'm solving a machine learning use case, I may get the data in the data frame. Now inside that data frame, I need to perform some operations. I may convert that into a list. I may convert that into a sets. I may convert into a dictionary. Suppose I want to convert into a JSON. I want to update in the MongoDB, right? So what I'll do, I'll take all the JSON file. I'll keep it in the form of list of JSONs, so that I, with one, insert many statement, I can push that all in the MongoDB. So all those kind of operation can be Googled up, you will be able to get the solution. But again, the main aim is basically to understand the basic overview. Okay. As you go on solving more and more use cases, as you go on querying from the Google, you will be getting all the answers. For something, you just have to keep on working. This will never end. Tomorrow some more new problem will come. You'll be using the same list, set, dictionaries in a different way. You'll be using functions in a different way. You'll be using lambda functions in a different way, right? It's all about that. So here I've given 3 days. I think it is more than sufficient, right? Now coming to the part 3, oops is all you need. Right? In OOPS, you just have to focus on classes, object methods, inheritance, polymorphism, data extraction, encapsulation. Again, I'm telling you, basic overview. Just take 1 example, 2 examples, 3 examples, just do it. And then when you're solving some real world problem statement, and then you need to create data pre-processing pipelines, you need to create some other pipelines. At that time, you try to use classes in that. I'll show you that example as we go ahead. But remember, guys, in companies, I'm telling you, data science is just not about model building. Okay, data science has a lot of things. You have to create the pipelines of all the life cycle of a data science project, and when you do that, you have to write in an object oriented programming way, because just in one click all the pipeline should get executed till the end, and then your model gets created and all the things. And pipeline, what do I mean by pipeline? Feature engineering, feature selection and all. But again, our focus over here is Python. I'm just taking an application as data science, guys. Even though if you are doing web development using Python, there also you need to use classes, because in the backend you will be interacting with MongoDB, you will be interacting with different kind of databases, all the things are there. And for this, I have again given 4 days, every day 2 hours. Every day 2 hours is more than sufficient. You'll be able to learn classes and objects in one day, right? I'm not stressing you, because that is pretty much simple and pretty much easy. Okay, I'll be showing you from where you can learn from my playlist also, and also be naming some of the YouTube channels where you can actually follow all these things, right? So you have inheritance, polymorphism, data abstraction, encapsulation, and many more things are there. Okay, now coming to the next thing, libraries with Python. Okay, now guys, this is actually taking 4 days. Now you saw part 2, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, right? Now you are moving towards the advanced stage, right? You have started from basic things, you're moving towards the advanced stage. And this is my experience saying you guys, okay? Now this libraries with Python, why I'm actually written 2 days. In part 4, why I've kept it. Now it is the time that you start moving towards your section. Say till part 3, everybody will have to learn this till part 3. Now in the part 4, probably a data scientist and a data analyst, right, will be focusing on all these particular libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, SciPy. Okay, because they have to do a lot of analysis. They have to do a whole lot of things. They have to play with different data frames. They have to play with different data sources, right? So here, in case of data analyst, suppose over here, what I'd like to write is that apart from these libraries, he may also be interacting with some databases like MySQL, MongoDB, and for that he'll be using libraries like PyMongo, right? So similarly, with respect to the web development, now web development also that person will be actually learning this. Now you will be seeing that after one specific point, that whole route will be spreading up now. A web development people will be going in this part, data analyst will be going in this part, data scientist will be going in this part. I'm just giving as an example, guys. Okay, so here I've actually kept 2 days where you actually have to learn about NumPy, where you're playing with arrays, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and SciPy. Obviously, you know Pandas, you know NumPy, Matplotlib definitely for visualization, Seaborn again for visualization part, right? So libraries with Python, I've written it over here, is my part 4. Now this will get you started with Python, right? This will get you started with Python. Probably if you have learnt all these things properly by practicing some of the other things, you may be very good. You will be just near to the expertise, because yes, there will be some more things. Who is an expertise? Let's talk about who is an expertise. Expertise, we basically say a person who has faced many problems in life, definitely during the project time, right? So suppose he's solving some Python projects, he's solving some data science projects, and he has done a lot of exploratory data analysis, he has done a lot of pre-processing, and he has faced some new problems, right? So suppose if I don't know, I may go and ask my friend that how to do this particular path, because he may have faced that particular path and he'll just give you a solution, right? And whenever you are in that particular stage, try to use Google as much as possible. Now this will definitely get you started with Python, and you will be good at Python. You will be called intermediate level Python developer, right? You will be pretty much good in this. Now coming to the advanced part towards specialization. Now as I told, the route will spread now. So we have frameworks for web development, frameworks for building desktop application, further libraries for machine learning and deep learning. I have definitely divided this into 3 sections. Now in the web development, you may also have knowledge about frameworks like AngularJS, React.js. You may also have Node.js, so that you will be able to communicate with the MongoDB or the SQL, or specifically with the databases that are in the backend, right? So coming with the frameworks for web development, and this is specifically for web application developer who are actually doing with the help of Python. And data scientists should also be knowing some basic things in this web development, specifically not focusing on the front end, but instead of focusing on how to create the APIs. Okay, web development also includes creating the front end application. It also includes creating the web APIs. Okay, so coming with the frameworks. So first of all, I really like to talk about the further libraries for machine learning and deep learning. So here I have combined all the frameworks for machine learning and deep learning. I should write combined libraries for machine learning and deep learning. I've also included frameworks. So here you can learn frameworks like Flash, Django, Matplotlib, Seaborn, SciPy, Pandas, NumPy, Dask, NVIDIA CUDA libraries, Keras, PyTorch, TensorFlow libraries, sklearn libraries. So this is the whole libraries that you should focus on if you are really going towards the machine learning and deep learning section. I have already made videos on Flash. I have made videos on each and everything, guys. Only Django is pending. Probably I'll also start a playlist on Django, so that every videos you'll just be able to find in my YouTube channel itself. Okay, Flask I had actually combined with Docker playlist, so there you'll be able to see this. But again, what I'm trying to tell you over here is that, and yes, there are some more web frameworks, guys. Only Flask and Django is only not there. There are also other web frameworks which I'll show you. Okay, but our main aim is basically to know how to create APIs, because if I use Flask or Django, I'll be easily be able to deploy it in any clouds like Heroku platform, EC2 instance, Azure, Google Cloud, and for that also I've created that deployment playlist where I've actually created a small Flask app and I have done the deployment. This is just to show that how we know that deployment part. Okay, creating APIs. Again, whatever front end your application may be using, Don't worry about that, because your main aim is basically to create an API, and that API should be able to take many number of requests. It should be scalable. Okay. So here it comes with respect to this, the combined framework for machine learning and deep learning. I should write combined frameworks and libraries for machine learning and deep learning. Now, frameworks for web development. If you are very, very interested in web development, again, there are 100 web, not 100, at least there are many web frameworks. Okay. But the best that I liked is Flask, Django, Web2Py, TurboGears, and CherryPy. So this is with respect to this. Everybody knows Flask and Django. And if you are a Python developer and who is already working, you may be knowing about Web2Py, TurboGears, and CherryPy. Okay, Flask and Django are completely open source. Web2Py, TurboGears, I think it is a paid license. CherryPy, I think it is a paid license. I need to check. I'm not sure about it, but you can check it over there. Okay, so this is with respect to the frameworks for web development. Again, what are the things that you should focus in frameworks for web development? How to create the front end part. Definitely you'll require some HTML, CSS knowledge. You'll be requiring some frameworks with respect to the front end. You will definitely be requiring to understand that. But again, as a data, if you're planning as a data analyst and data scientist, not much is required. You should just know how to create the APIs. Okay. But for the people who are actually planning to get into full stack development, I think these frameworks are pretty much awesome. Okay. Now coming to the last thing, that is the framework for desktop application also. So Python also has this amazing frameworks to create desktop application. So this is that all in one language. You can do anything inside this, right? So here you have frameworks like Tkinter, I think PyQt and Kiwi. Okay. So these all things are actually there. You can actually check it out. You can actually go and see for any tutorials. The tutorials are pretty much available in the vlogs. You can actually check it out. Okay, if you are planning to move towards desktop application. Now coming to the final points to remember. Okay, before I go to this particular point, I really want to take you to the playlist in my channel from where you can actually learn Python. So let me just go over here. So here it is. So I've created one playlist which is called as complete machine learning playlist. So here you will be seeing that this video also I'll be keeping in the first position over here. So here you can see that I've started with Anaconda installation with Python basics, list and Boolean variables, sets, dictionary tuples, NumPy inbuilt function tutorials, data frames, data series, reading CSV, this, Matplotlib, Seaborn, how to become expert in exploratory data analysis, Python functions, positional and key arguments, lambda function, map function, filter function, list comprehension, advanced string formatting, Python iterables versus iterators. Okay, Python's oops tutorials. Okay, so everything, univariate analysis, histogram in EDA. Now you may be thinking, Krish, is this sufficient? Right, this much is sufficient. Guys, to get started, this is more than enough. Trust me. If you know this much, later on, if you just Google, you'll find out all the solutions. I promise you with respect to that. All these videos that I've actually created, you will be seeing that I've created 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 26 minutes like this, 29 minutes. The reason why I've created this is that at least for till some specific point, you will be knowing this. Later on, you can just explore by Googling it. I may give you 100 use cases, 100 different use cases. Okay, I may invest some time. I may also get some 100 use cases, and I may be recording the videos. But again, that is not the main aim. The main aim is that to give you that basic overview, make you till the intermediate level, and for the other upcoming things, you can directly Google it. Okay, and definitely for the machine learning and all, you can check my this whole complete machine learning playlist is already there. Hypothesis testing, then how do you do the programming with respect to machine learning and all. But remember, with respect to machine learning, guys, pandas, NumPy. You can also have libraries like Dask and all, which I have actually mentioned, and everything is mentioned over here. Okay, with respect to complete deep learning, here you have I've created videos on PyTorch, I've created videos on TensorFlow. All the links will be given in the description of this particular video. Just go through it, guys. That is pretty much important. Just if you go through these 24 videos, right, you'll be able to understand everything with the help of Python, because I've done exploratory data analysis also. I've also included statistical concepts. Okay, statistical concepts also. The reason why I've mentioned over there as SciPy, because all the statistical concepts also you can integrate over there, and everything is mentioned. It's just up to you. Again, I'm telling you, don't worry about much things. So, oh, this is just sufficient. Don't worry, whenever you face that problem, Google it. You will get the solution. Nowadays, we require IT developers who are very, very good at Google searching, right? Who are very, very good at finding solutions in the Google, right? Trust me, the manager will be very, very happy for that. Okay. Now, coming back over here, the final points to remember. Okay. These are very, very important points. Probably when I was learning, some of the times, many times I used to get demotivated. The first point that I really want to say is that don't be hard on yourself. Okay. Everybody has a different capability. Some may learn quickly, some may take some time. Okay. I am an average person with respect to learning something. I take time. Okay. So don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself time. Right. Yes, when you're saying that, and give yourself time based on your capability. Okay. Suppose if a person is able to learn only 2 hours daily efficiently, instead of sitting for 8 hours and you're not learning anything, just give that 2 hours sincerely. Okay. Give yourself time, guys. This is the second point that I really want to mention. Don't be hard on yourself. If you're not able to learn, if somebody is able to learn, don't differentiate that. Oh, he's intelligent, he's that. Okay. You all are same. I'm telling you, everybody is unique in their way. Okay. If somebody is doing some work quickly and you're not able to do it, don't worry. You just have to practice some more things and you will be better. I'm telling you, every day we become better. We learn some things, right? Because everybody, again, will be unique in their specific way. Some of the work you may be good at, some of the work I may be good at, right? Don't worry much of the outcome. Okay. This is the point that I really want to mention. Because why I'm mentioning this, you may be thinking, Krish, what is this point? Don't worry much out of. Then why are we learning? See, guys, everything that happens in our life happens for a good thing. Okay, always remember this particular point. Everything that happens in our life is good. Happens for a good and specific reason. Whatever I have learned in my life, some or the other way, I've used that. Okay. So right now, when you are learning Python, probably you may not get a job right now, but after 1 to 2 years, you may get a job when you're doing some other kind of work. That is how I also got, right? So don't worry much of the outcome. You love something, start reading it, start learning it. Don't worry that whether you'll be able to get a job, whether you'll be able to go into this. Don't worry about that. You are interested into this. You have put a lot of efforts. Definitely you'll be successful. Okay. Just focus more on learning. So the next point is that you have to keep on preparing and learning continuously. So continuously you have to learn. This is the thing in the data science industry. This is the thing in any technique, any skill that you take, you have to keep on working on your skills to improve them. Right? You have to be working on. This is just not specific to data science, guys. This is specific to every technologies that is existing in this particular world. You always try to research some new things. Next point, don't feel demotivated. Again, I'm telling you, don't be hard on yourself and don't feel demotivated because others are doing well. Others are going to do this much well. They're getting some amazing jobs. I've been preparing for 1 to 2 years. Still, I'm not able to get the job. Don't feel demotivated just thinking because of that. I used to get demotivated because some of my friends used to do pretty much well, but I was not able to do it. Don't feel demotivated. Every day, there is one sweet time where everything will perfectly go fine for you all. Okay. And final thing, don't hesitate to take help of Google. Any questions that you have, if suppose I'm not able to answer in my channel, you're not getting answer from your mentors or anybody else in this world, just go and ask Google. He will be providing you the complete solution. So I hope you like this video. I hope it was motivational. Please do subscribe the channel if you are not already subscribed. I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Thank you and all. Bye bye.